What if the aircraft flying toward enemy air defenses wasn't real? What if billion-dollar missile systems locked onto targets that never existed, while the real strike force slipped through unnoticed? Today, we reveal how Israel's decoy aircraft warfare is rewriting the rules of air combat, blinding radars, draining missile stockpiles, and exposing the fatal weakness of modern air defense systems. Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Today's revelation will shock you. Imagine enemy radar operators tracking multiple incoming aircraft, alarms screaming, missile batteries activating, only to discover later that they were fighting ghosts. Israel's decoy aircraft warfare program is not science fiction. It is a real, battle-tested system designed to outsmart and overwhelm even the most advanced air defense networks on Earth. These decoys are engineered to look, move, and behave exactly like real fighter jets on radar and infrared sensors. To an enemy operator, there is no difference. Missiles are fired, radars are exposed. Command centers panic, and all the while, Israel's real strike aircraft fly undetected through gaps created by deception. This strategy flips traditional air combat on its head. Instead of brute force suppression, Israel uses intelligence, psychology, and electronic dominance. The shocking truth is that many air defense systems are optimized to destroy physical threats, not to question whether those threats are real. That single weakness is what Israel exploits with ruthless efficiency. This is not just a weapon, it is a mind game played at supersonic speed, and once it begins, the defender is already losing. To understand the power of Israel's decoy aircraft, you must understand how modern air defense systems think. Radars don't see shapes, they see signatures. Speed, altitude, radar cross-section, heat patterns, and electronic emissions define what a real aircraft looks like. Israel designs its decoys to perfectly replicate these signatures. Some are unmanned aerial vehicles, others are loitering platforms launched from aircraft, ships, or ground systems. Once airborne, they behave like manned fighters, changing altitude, executing evasive maneuvers, even simulating attack runs. For enemy operators, the pressure is immense. They must decide quickly, fire or risk letting hostile aircraft through. Most choose to fire. That decision triggers a cascade of failures. Missile inventories are drained, radar systems reveal their positions, and communication networks become overloaded. Israel then maps every response in real time, which radar activated, which missile battery fired, which command node issued orders. The decoy becomes a sensor, feeding intelligence back to Israeli command centers. In modern warfare, information is more valuable than destruction, and Israel's decoys gather both. One of the most devastating aspects of Israel's decoy aircraft program is how it exposes air defense systems without risking pilots. Traditional suppression of enemy air defenses requires dangerous missions where real aircraft deliberately provoke radar activations. Decoys remove that risk entirely. They fly first, forcing the enemy to react. The moment a radar locks on or a missile launches, its position becomes known. That data is instantly shared across Israel's network-centric warfare systems. Within minutes, or even seconds, precision weapons can neutralize those exposed defenses. This turns the defender's strength into a liability. The more advanced the system, the more predictable its response patterns become. Israel studies these patterns relentlessly. Over time, decoy operations are refined to exploit specific weaknesses in different air defense architectures, whether Russian, made, Western, built, or domestically produced. The result is a tailored deception strategy for each adversary. This capability doesn't just open air corridors, it paralyzes decision-making. Enemy commanders are forced to ask an impossible question: which targets are real? In warfare, hesitation is fatal, and Israel's decoy aircraft are designed to create exactly that hesitation. Psychological warfare is a hidden but crucial element of Israel's decoy aircraft strategy. When air defense crews repeatedly fire missiles at false targets, confidence erodes. Operators begin to second-guess radar returns, commanders hesitate before authorizing engagements, training doctrines collapse under uncertainty. Israel understands that air defense is not just hardware, it is human judgment under pressure. Decoys exploit that human element mercilessly. Every false engagement creates doubt. Every wasted missile weakens morale. Over time, defenders may delay firing, fearing deception, which creates windows of opportunity for real strike aircraft. This is strategic manipulation at the highest level. The decoys don't just confuse machines, they condition human behavior. Israel effectively teaches enemy defenses to mistrust their own sensors. Few militaries in the world have mastered this fusion of technology, psychology, and timing. It reflects decades of combat experience and intelligence-driven doctrine. In modern warfare, winning the mental battle is often more decisive than winning the physical one, and Israel's decoy aircraft are weapons of psychological dominance. Another critical advantage of Israel's decoy program is cost asymmetry. Air defense missiles cost hundreds of thousands, or even millions, of dollars each. Decoys cost a fraction of that. Every missile fired at a fake target is a financial and logistical victory for Israel. Over extended conflicts, this imbalance becomes devastating. Missile stockpiles shrink faster than they can be replenished. Maintenance cycles accelerate, budget pressures mount. Israel weaponizes economics as much as airspace. This approach is especially effective against layered air defense systems designed for sustained engagements. Decoys trigger high-value interceptors that were meant for real aircraft. Once those interceptors are gone, the defense network becomes brittle. Israel's planners understand that wars are not won in single engagements, but through cumulative advantage. Decoy aircraft are attrition weapons disguised as deception tools. They drain resources silently, relentlessly, and efficiently. When the real strike finally comes, it meets a weakened, exhausted defense network already conditioned to fail. Israel's decoy aircraft do not operate alone. They are integrated into a broader ecosystem of electronic warfare, cyber operations, space-based intelligence, and precision strike platforms. Satellites track responses from above. Electronic warfare systems manipulate frequencies. Cyber units monitor command and control traffic. The decoy becomes the trigger that activates the entire kill chain. This level of integration is what separates Israel from most military powers. Decoys are not improvisations. They are scripted elements in a complex operational playbook. Each mission is rehearsed digitally before execution. Expected enemy responses are modeled, tested, and exploited. When reality deviates from predictions, Israel adapts instantly. This adaptability is lethal. Air defenses built on rigid doctrines struggle against a system that evolves mid-operation. The decoy aircraft is both bait and scout, drawing out reactions while mapping the battlefield dynamically. This transforms air defense penetration from a gamble into a calculated process. Global military analysts closely monitor Israel's decoy aircraft developments because they signal the future of air warfare. Traditional concepts of air superiority are being replaced by dominance through deception. Countries investing billions in air defense systems may find themselves vulnerable not to overwhelming force, but to intelligent manipulation. Israel's success forces adversaries to rethink doctrine, training, and procurement. Do you fire immediately and risk wasting missiles, or wait and risk letting real attackers through? There is no perfect answer. That dilemma is the decoy's greatest weapon. As air defense systems become more automated, the challenge intensifies. Automated systems react faster, but they are also easier to deceive if their algorithms are predictable. Israel exploits this tension between speed and discernment. The lesson is clear: technology alone cannot guarantee security. Without adaptive intelligence and deception resilience, even the most advanced defenses can be rendered ineffective. The strategic implications of Israel's decoy aircraft program extend far beyond regional conflicts. Any nation relying on static air defense architectures is vulnerable. Israel demonstrates that airspace control is no longer about numbers. It is about narrative control of the battle space. Who dictates what the enemy believes they are seeing? Decoys rewrite that narrative. They create false realities in which defenders act against illusions while real threats remain hidden. This capability reshapes deterrence. Potential adversaries must now consider that their air defenses may fail before combat even begins. That uncertainty alone can influence political and military decision making. Israel leverages this ambiguity as a strategic asset. The decoy aircraft is not just a tactical tool. It is a signal to adversaries that their assumptions about air defense superiority may be dangerously outdated. Looking ahead, Israel's decoy aircraft program is expected to evolve with artificial intelligence, autonomous coordination, and adaptive behavior. Future decoys may communicate with each other, adjust tactics based on enemy responses, and operate in swarms that overwhelm defenses cognitively rather than physically. This represents a shift from platform-centric warfare to system-centric warfare. Israel is building an environment where deception scales faster than defense. The implications are profound. Air defenses designed around interception may become obsolete against opponents who never present real targets until it is too late. Israel's innovation trajectory suggests that the line between real and fake will continue to blur, until defenders can no longer trust anything they see on their screens. Israel's decoy aircraft warfare reveals a brutal truth about modern conflict. Victory belongs to those who control perception. By forcing enemy air defenses to fight illusions, Israel conserves lives, preserves assets, and maximizes strategic leverage. This is warfare at its most sophisticated, where intelligence, deception, and timing matter more than raw firepower. The sky is no longer a battlefield of visible enemies. It is a chessboard of signals, signatures, and psychological pressure. Israel plays this game better than almost anyone else. As air defense systems grow more complex, so too will the methods designed to defeat them. And in that evolving contest, decoy aircraft may prove to be one of the most decisive tools of the 21st century. If you want more deep military analysis, hidden defense technologies, and future warfare breakdowns, subscribe to Warvex Intelligence, like this video, and share it with fellow defense enthusiasts. Stay informed, because modern wars are won long before the first real strike.